Okay, so hello again, Chef Bob from Coral Glade High School, and we are doing part two of our Belizean food series. Okay, so what we're doing today is garnachas. Okay, so this is actually Belizean Latino food. Okay, what are garnachas? Garnachas are basically a fried corn tortilla. Now, you can make your own masa and fry it yourself, and that's fine. Otherwise, they have perfectly good pre-fried corn tortillas that you can buy at any or even at Publix for that matter. Okay, so basically, in its simplest form, a garnacha is a fried corn tortilla with refried beans on top. Shredded cabbage, which we bought already pre-shredded, but shred your own, that's completely up to you. Using for the refried beans, we're going to be using black beans, okay? And what else? You also have to make a onion pickle. So what we're using for this, we're going to be using white onions, which we're going to chop, and then we're going to put with white vinegar, salt, pepper, and a little bit of cilantro. And so basically, as I was saying, tortilla, beans, cabbage, onions, and then we're going to top these with avocado. Now, you can do whatever you want on these. You can put grilled chicken, you can put grilled fish. It's completely up to you, but we're keeping. So first thing we're going to do is we are going to make the refried beans. Need for the refried beans. Obviously, I've got some canned black beans over here, and I've got some good Belizean coconut oil, which I'm going to put in the pan. About enough to coat the bottom of the pan. 2 tablespoons. There we go. All right. And I'm going to chop an onion. We're going to put a little bit of onion in there, not a lot. There we go. I'm going to save the rest of this red onion for the cabbage slaw. Okay, so here we go. Chopping this onion, and there we go. I'm going to set that aside, and I'm going to put this in the pot with the coconut oil. All right. And my wife Cruz is taping this. And my wife Cruz is from Belize, born and raised there. So Cruz, please add any comments that you feel are necessary. Okay, so I've got a garlic clove over here. I'm going to chop this up, and I'm going to add this to the coconut oil. Let me set this aside here. There we go. So it's got, you know, a small mince. No, not a big deal. Go. And, you know, I'm using 1 clove of garlic. Again, all these quantities that I'm giving you guys, it's up to you. Okay, if you like garlic, add more garlic. If you don't like garlic, you don't have to add it. If you want to add more or less onion, completely up to you. So I've got some small chopped garlic. I'm going to add this to the coconut oil. All right. And there we have it. I can already hear it starting to sizzle here. So what we're going to do is we're going to cook these, the onion and the garlic, until it starts to just get soft. Okay. What we call in the cooking and chefs, we call that until it sweats. Now what we're going to do is, for the cabbage slaw, what we're going to need is a little bit of cilantro. So I've got some cilantro which I pre-washed, and unlike parsley, cilantro, if you use a little bit of the stems, that's fine. It's not a big deal, okay? So I'm going to chop some cilantro. And again, remember guys, quantities are completely up to you. I've got here maybe approximately 2 tablespoons of chopped cilantro, okay? And I'm gonna put the rest of the cilantro inside a bowl and set it aside for later if I need it, okay? So, some people don't like cilantro. I know my mother, she hates the stuff. I love it. So again, if you don't want cilantro in it, it's completely up to you. The recipe, I mean, whatever works for you. So I've got some limes over here. Ooh, it smells so good. All right, so I'm gonna lower this to medium high, and I'm gonna let this sweat a little bit more. There we go. Medium high, and let's add a little bit of lime juice to the, I've always known this as Mayan coleslaw, basically cabbage with a little bit of lime juice, salt, and pepper. So I've got a lime press over here. Lime's a little bit bigger than the press, but that's okay. Here we go. Oh yeah, Mr. Peters, good morning, Belize. I don't know if you can hear it, but there it is. And I'm gonna add a few grinds of pepper to this. And some salt. Not a lot. And I'm going to mix this up. Okay. Now, if you don't like lime juice, that's fine. You can use vinegar in this instead. It's completely up to you. As a matter of fact, I may add a little touch of white vinegar to this, not a lot. Okay, so now you've got the lime and you've got the vinegar. Good morning, Belize. And we're gonna let this sit for a couple of minutes. Keep a clean station. Okay, so I'm gonna rinse off my knife. The onions are beginning to sweat, and this is perfect. So what I'm gonna add to this now, you can see that it's beginning to get soft. The garlic is beginning to brown a little bit. So now I am going to add the beans. And if you can hear that sizzle, and we're gonna mix this up. Okay. I'm going to use to mash the beans. I'm going to lower the heat a little bit here to medium. And again, when this is done, I'm going to season it very simply with a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. And that's it. You've got the onion, you've got the coconut oil, salt and pepper, and this is ready. Okay, so we're gonna let this cook a little bit longer. Now, if you're in a hurry, or if you're well, you can buy the beans already refried. However you want to season them, make them taste however you want them to taste. Okay, so beans. A little bit of water to this, just a little bit. There we go. So you can see, now I'm going to put them back on the fire. refried beans are almost done. To these, I'm going to add a little bit of salt, not much, and I'm going to add a few grinds of pepper. All right. And these beans are done. Let me show you what the finished product looks like. There you go. So I'm going to set this aside, and now I'm going to work on the onion slaw. Actually, let me put these inside this dish that I have set aside for that. We're going to put the beans inside here. There we go. Those look amazing. All right, so now I have a little bit of this red onion left, and remember I said that I was going to save this for the cabbage slaw. So I'm going to chop this up now, and I'm going to add it to the slaw. There we go. Now you can see the slaw is already getting a little limp, a little softened because of the juice. All right. Okay. That is perfect. Next thing, we've got the refried beans. Now we've got to make the onions. The onion pickle. So let me show you how we're going to do that. Okay. Let me go get a bowl to put that in. All right, so this is going to be a rough chop. Okay, so I'm going to put these in the bowl. These didn't get chopped all the way through, so let me make sure everything is chopped correctly. All right. Hear me carefully. I went to Belize in 1991 on a one-year contract for Ramada, and I ended up falling in love with the country. I ended up staying there 14 years. I worked for Ramada, then I went to work for the Radisson in Belize, and then my wife and I decided to open up our own restaurant in Belize, which was Bob's Bar and Grill, which was actually quite popular. What do you think, Cruz? Should I make some more?
That's fine.
That's fine? Okay. So I'm going to leave it at that. To this chopped onion, we're going to add a little bit of vinegar. Okay. We're going to add some salt. And we're going to add a few grinds of pepper. Okay. And we're going to mix this up. Okay. Now, let's do the assembling. There we go. Tiny whiny. So I'm going to assemble one garnacha and I'm going to show you how it's done, okay? So, here's one of our corn tortillas. We're going to put a little bit of the refried beans on it. Okay. I'll keep my station clean here. So, you don't want to put too much, just, enough. There we go. So here we have it, right? Put this on the plate. Put some cabbage on top of that. Okay, a little bit of the chopped onion, pickled onion. Okay, then I'm going to put some, I've got a little bit of the, I buy this at Publix, Sargento 4 cheese Mexican blend. But again, what you want to put on it is completely up to you. You want an Italian twist on it, put Parmesan on it. If you want a Mexican twist on it, definitely put Manchego cheese, well that's more Spanish. But if you want to put Oaxaca cheese on it or queso fresco, it's completely up to you. So we're going to sprinkle some of this on here. There we go. Okay. And then the last thing I like to add is a little bit of avocado. And I have an avocado over here that I already cut because I was using it earlier. So I'm going to remove the pit here. There we go. Cut it into slices. There we go. Okay. And the last thing we want to add is there's two types of hot sauces. All right, this is very traditional Belizean. This is Mary Sharp's habanero smoked hot pepper sauce. Or there's the traditional Mary Sharp habanero pepper sauce. So we're gonna put the, sprinkle some of that right on there. Treat it completely with respect, guys, because this stuff is hot. And that is it, guys. That is a Belizean style garnacha.